strategies. There's a lot of steps of marketing you have to do when you develop a brand prior to even thinking of advertising. But the reality, if you want to know the reality, what happens today is marketing departments work on pricing a product, not identifying their target audience or even understanding the scientific behavior of the target audience. The owners or the businessman or his friends decide this is the product that's supposed to be out in the market. Why? Because this brand is so very successful, so we have a chance of getting 5% market share. So they go through the process, and then they go to pricing, and they do the distribution and the simple logistics of marketing, and then call an advertising agency, write a brief. The advertising agency gets confused about the brief, which is not a proper brief. So
a brief, you mean an article or an
a brief is basically how the strategy, how the brand's supposed to be, the product's supposed to be communicated. So the advertising agency takes the brief, looks at the brief, very confused. Then the advertising agency has to remodel the brief. So look at the steps, how things are changing. So the owner said, I want to appear everywhere, which is premium for him. So advertising takes place, or PR takes place. Question, how functional was marketing there? It wasn't functional, because you only used the simple 3-4 Ps of it, which is price, product, promotion, or distribution. But where are the strategies? Where's the brand profile? Where's the brand character? Where's the brand personality?
The brand profile, you mean that we should have?
The personality, how the brand's supposed to be engaged with the audience. What are the strategies are you going to use? How are you going to differentiate it from the other brands? You need to do all those steps prior even to think of even writing a brief to an advertising agency or even writing a brief to a PR agency.
But sometimes, you know, Mr. Saeed, these steps, they succeed. You might have a brand that is not that strong, and because of the strong ads everywhere, and I believe that in the Middle East we don't have enough awareness that make us know what's really good, what is not really good. We're so emotional and we get touched easily, so these things affect us, and we might go and buy something that is not 100% good, and we might doubt that, but we buy it because the ads affected us.
Very true. Look, I agree with you, but not on every brand. I agree with you on brands that were first to launch, that they were first to appear they appeared in America.
You mean new ideas or?
New ideas. I agree on that part, but that new idea, there's a lot that copy it eventually within the period of 3 years.
True.
The first one that did well was the first in the category. So it's a given fact. It's new, it's differentiated, you expect to get it an impact.
I believe when I was in college that we had a term that they got the butter of the market, actually. Whenever someone initiates an idea, they are going to have the best results, and they are going to be the most profitable among all for who's going to join the club, actually. And the very famous example I thought that we were always giving when we wanted to highlight that is the companies of the mobile phones. The first company in any country, they get the best.
Exactly.
And
first in the category. It was first. And you know, something else about being first also is sustaining growth and being consistent. Sometimes these companies, when they come in with a new brand, which is a new category, they build the growth for about 1.5 years. And after that 1.5 years, the growth becomes not consistent, but there's a decline stage because there's too many management opinions. You have left-brainers, which are the management, then you have the right-brainers, which are the marketeers. They go into a conflict, so the brand starts becoming deactivated. But when you have an international brand coming from overseas, like in the mobile, you find them coming in and it's very consistent.
True.
Except the local license.
And you feel the professionality and the difference. Immediately.
Very true. Because they take the essence of the brand the essence of the brand, whether if you're talking about the positioning or the brand culture or the brand environment.
And they
which are
study the
basic
culture.
essence. Yes.
A lot of the brand cell phone companies, when they have the intro or they're still in the phase of introduction in a country, you find them in the Middle East, they have different aids than the aids they have in the United States, for example, or in England or in Egypt or in different countries. They know the culture and they concentrate upon the need of you and they put the aids.
True, very true. But there's one more thing I have to add to this, is that you can also create a culture.
How come?
You need to lead a trend.
Yeah,
We
we want that, and these days actually we need that.
I'll give you an example. Think of European brands or American brands. Typical an American brand, Timberland.
Okay.
It's a clothing. It's a culture. It's an environmental culture. It's an outdoor gear. It's a brand that has a culture. So it's a trend leader.
How did they create a culture?
The brand itself, when you create a culture for the brand, you need to understand first who your audience are and how you plan to lead. Second, you need to know the competitive edges. Who's operating within that category and how different can you move?
But you know, Mr. Saeed, the example that you said, Timberland is a brand that you trust. You know that what you're going to buy is not going to be damaged a short while later. So you trust the brand more than anything else. This is the strength of it.
That's also the quality part. But
Yeah.
again, when you wear for an environment. When you buy something, you think of the experience you're going to go with it. Think about Polo as a brand, as an experience brand. Think about Timberland as an experience brand. Think about
Nestle.
Yeah, it's an experience brand.
Yes.
But so it's the culture. You transform the culture into experience. You walk into a store, okay?
Yeah.
Think of Apple stores, the new Apple stores, which are done with the 5D. Screen Point out of Hong Kong designed them.
Okay.
Think about them. You walk into, it's a communicating. It's a data, time and data stores. Everything is placed on the wall.
Yeah.
That's environment. Now, that's a culture. That's the Apple culture. And that culture was translated into an environment that was set within the Apple stores. That itself is a message. You see it somewhere else, and you're going to close your eyes, you're going to identify and say, oh, that's Apple. That's Apple.
Yeah.
That's how powerful a brand becomes. The objective of any
They made you think their way.
Yeah,
And see the brand.
Yeah, because the objective of any marketeer has to be first. The first primary objective is how this brand is supposed to be registering into the consumer's audience and in the consumer's mind. How is it supposed to be positioned? Then
We search for the need.
You said it. You search for the need and you bank on that need.
Yeah.
But again, if you search for the need, it's also you can do something on the need, but your strategies could be wrong. You see?
How is that? Say an example, please.
For example, you say that's a great need. I'm going to work on that need.
Okay.
Now, when you build on
There's
that
a need for water, for example.
there's a
water.
need of water.
Yeah.
There's many sort of
Many
portable
brand names
waters
of that.
That are in the supermarket.
True.
alley. There's 15 of them.
Okay.
Some of them are called Diamond, which is not related even to the water, which is a name strategy. A name strategy.
Gives you just an impression.
But it says Diamond. How is that related to water?
I guess they mean the clarity of it and how fine is it. It's like diamond.
But when
That's
you-
the impression that you get.
But when you talk to an audience and you say Diamond, what's the first perception that comes to them?
Jewelry, of course.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
it's an industry by itself.
Yeah.
But when I tell you life, and I tell you it's water, it's a living entity, right?
You mean that the name also should
Everything is a
has a great
strategy. Mm.
relation with the brand, with the product.
Everything has a strategy. A name has a strategy. Color has a strategy. The brand identity has a strategy. Even the theory, the scientific theory of how you want to position it